What if everything we thought we knew about Mars was just the tip of the iceberg? Scientists have made shocking discoveries that might change our understanding of the red planet, and perhaps even the origins of life itself. From finding liquid water to strange structures that look like ancient pyramids, these discoveries are changing what we know about the red planet. Number 1. Liquid water on Mars. Mars has always been a planet full of mystery, but one discovery stands out above the rest: liquid water. This isn't just another interesting fact about space. It's groundbreaking evidence that Mars might potentially support life. The big moment came in 2001 when the Odyssey mission detected hydrogen beneath the Martian surface using a special gamma-ray sensor. This hinted at the presence of water ice, particularly in the polar regions where large amounts were discovered under a thin layer of dry soil. But the real game-changer happened in 2018. An international team of researchers found something incredible beneath Mars's south polar ice caps, a 20-kilometer-wide area of liquid water. Using radar data, they revealed this body of water, buried under layers of ice, is stable and long-lasting. This wasn't just a random occurrence. It was the first solid evidence of a stable reservoir of liquid water on Mars. What makes this discovery even more exciting are the possibilities it opens up. Unlike Earth's polar ice caps, which have lakes underneath, Mars was believed to be frozen solid to its core due to its harsh climate. However, the presence of geological features, such as channels and valleys, strikingly similar to those carved by water on Earth, suggests that Mars might have once had a much warmer and wetter climate. This raises an intriguing question. Did Mars once supported life, or could it still be hidden beneath its icy surface? These findings are not just fascinating, they challenge our understanding of Mars and its history. The more we learn about this mysterious planet, the clearer it becomes that Mars has secrets waiting to be uncovered, possibly rewriting the story of life in our solar system. Number 2. Coralv Crater. The Coralv Crater is one of Mars's most fascinating features, not just because of its size, but because of what's inside. Located in the northern part of the planet, this well-preserved impact crater is 82 kilometers wide and holds something truly amazing: an enormous amount of water ice, nearly 1.8 kilometers deep. The crater was formed billions of years ago when a large asteroid or comet hit Mars, and the ice inside has been preserved uniquely. What makes Coralv even more interesting is a phenomenon known as the cold trap. The crater's bowl-like shape helps keep the ice from melting. Cold air settles over the ice, creating a thick insulating layer that stops the ice from turning directly into gas, even during Mars's warmer seasons. This natural cooling system ensures that the ice inside Coralv stays stable year after year. This discovery is important for more than just finding another icy spot on Mars. Coralv acts like a time capsule, preserving Mars's climate history within its frozen layers. The ice might hold important clues about the planet's past climate, atmosphere, and possibly even signs of ancient life. By studying this crater, scientists can learn more about how Mars's environment has changed over billions of years. The Coralv Crater isn't just another geological feature. It's a key to understanding Mars's complex and possibly life-supporting history. As researchers continue to study this frozen wonder, they might unlock more secrets about the red planet's past and gain a better understanding of whether Mars was ever a place where life could exist. Number 3. Mars rocks found on Earth. Imagine a piece of Mars falling from the sky and landing on Earth. It sounds like something from a science fiction story, but it's a real event that has fascinated scientists for years. One of the most famous examples happened in 1865 when a 10-pound rock, later called a Shergotite, crashed into the small village of Shagati, India. At first, no one knew where it came from, but by the 1980s, researchers confirmed that this rock came from Mars. But how did a rock from Mars end up on Earth? The answer lies in Mars's lower gravity, which is about 1/3 of Earth's. This lower gravity makes it easier for rocks to be thrown into space during big volcanic eruptions or when asteroids hit Mars. These rocks then travel through space for millions of years before some of them eventually hit Earth, becoming meteorites. These Martian meteorites, like the Shergottite, are mainly made of volcanic rock, meaning they came from Mars's volcanic regions. The key to identifying these meteorites came when scientists compared the gases trapped inside them to the Martian atmosphere. NASA's Viking orbiters in the 1970s provided the first detailed measurements of Mars's air. When the gases inside the meteorites matched those found on Mars, it confirmed they were from Mars. These Martian meteorites are more than just rocks. They're priceless pieces of Mars's history. They give us a rare, direct connection to the red planet, allowing scientists to study its makeup, volcanic activity, and even hints about its climate. As we continue to explore Mars, these meteorites serve as an important link connecting our world to the mysterious surface of Mars. Number 4. Pyramid on Mars. Hold on to your seats, because what scientists have just found on Mars might be one of the most mind-blowing discoveries yet. You've heard of the Great Pyramids of Egypt, right? Now imagine something similar on Mars. New images taken by NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter have shown structures near Olympus Mons, the biggest volcanic formation on Mars, that look a lot like Earth's pyramids. But here's where it gets even crazier. Experts in geology, archaeology, and physics now believe that Olympus Mons might not be a volcano at all. Instead, it could be the remains of an ancient, massive particle accelerator. Yes, you heard that right. A particle accelerator on Mars, possibly built by an ancient civilization. The heavily worn-down pyramid-like structures around Olympus Mons suggest these formations could have been part of this advanced technology. The theory doesn't end there. Researchers have noticed striking similarities between these Martian pyramids and certain Egyptian symbols, leading to the amazing idea that the pyramids on Earth might have served as giant antennas, remotely controlling this Martian accelerator. Could it be that ancient civilizations on Earth and Mars were connected in ways we never imagined? Were the pyramids more than just tombs and monuments? Were they part of an interplanetary technology? This discovery raises a flood of questions. If true, it could change everything we know about our past, suggesting that human history and Martian history are connected in ways that go beyond our wildest dreams. Number 5. Sounds of Mars. Mars has always been a quiet mystery, but that all changed in February 2021 when NASA's Perseverance rover landed on the planet's surface. Equipped with microphones specially designed to capture the sounds of Mars, Perseverance has given us something truly extraordinary, the first ever recordings of what Mars sounds like. Curious about what Mars sounds like? Well, get ready to be amazed. The microphones aboard Perseverance have recorded everything from the crunching of the rover's wheels on the rocky ground to the gentle hum of the Martian wind. But that's not all. The microphones also picked up the sounds of the Ingenuity helicopter as it took flight on Mars. Imagine hearing the first ever helicopter lift off from another planet. Those soft whirs and hums were a historic moment, captured for all of humanity to hear. Yet, there's something eerie about these recordings. The Martian wind, blowing through the empty landscape, sounds almost ghostly, a quiet, lonely breeze interrupted by occasional dust devils. And then, there are the screeches and clanks from the rover's wheels as they roll over rocks, creating hollow, metallic echoes that seem to carry across the planet's surface. What's truly fascinating is how these sounds differ from what we're used to on Earth. The thin Martian atmosphere, made mostly of carbon dioxide, changes how sound travels. The haunting silence between each gust of wind or clank of metal reminds us just how strange and otherworldly Mars truly is. Number 6. Metal rock. Mars has delivered yet another surprising find, thanks to NASA's Curiosity rover. While exploring the Martian landscape, Curiosity came across something unusual: a meteorite. This isn't just any space rock, it's a unique metallic meteorite about 0.3 meters wide, made mostly of iron and nickel. Named Cacao, This rock stands out against its surroundings, almost as if it doesn't belong. NASA decided to examine it more closely, using Curiosity's ChemCam laser. By shooting the rock with the laser, the rover collected detailed information about its chemical makeup, showing it was a meteorite made of iron and nickel. Cacao was found in a region called the sulfate-bearing unit on Mars's Mount Sharp. This area is particularly interesting because it gives clues about Mars's ancient climate. The presence of a meteorite here suggests that Mars has been hit by space rocks throughout its history, just like Earth. But Cacao is special. It's a metallic piece of that cosmic bombardment, preserved in Mars's thin atmosphere. Number 7. Evidence of ancient lake. Mars, often thought of as a cold desert, might have once been a planet full of water. This comes from NASA's Curiosity rover, which has been exploring the Gale Crater, a huge impact area on Mars. While studying a part called the sulfate-bearing unit, Curiosity made a major discovery: evidence of ancient lakes that once covered this part of Mars. Imagine standing by a Martian lake millions of years ago. This might not be as far-fetched as it sounds. The rock layers Curiosity found are different from others seen on Mars. They were formed in drier conditions, and the presence of sulfate minerals, salty deposits left behind as water evaporated, suggests these lakes existed when the planet was changing from a wetter to a drier climate. One of the strongest pieces of evidence comes from ripple marks found in the rock. These marks are just like those found on Earth, along beaches, or at the bottoms of shallow lakes. They show that waves gently touch the Martian surface, laying down sediment layer by layer and preserving those ripples in stone. Curiosity also found rocks with layers that were evenly spaced and thick, which further suggests there were long-lasting bodies of water. This evidence paints a picture of Mars, which once was much more like Earth, with lakes that could have supported life. Number 8. White rocks. In early 2021, NASA's Perseverance rover began its journey across the Jezero Crater, a region of Mars that has fascinated scientists for years. But what Perseverance discovered there was unexpected. Thousands of white rocks scattered across the crater floor. These light-toned, pebble-sized rocks, numbering over 4,000, have sparked a flurry of excitement among researchers. These rocks aren't just ordinary stones. They are dehydrated, lacking water content and essential minerals like iron, magnesium, calcium, and sodium. This stark difference from typical Martian rocks suggests that these white rocks underwent intense heating and metamorphosis, possibly due to ancient lava flows or asteroid impacts. But that's not the only reason these rocks are significant. The presence of these dehydrated rocks in Jezero Crater indicates that water once flowed through underground fractures on Mars, precipitating gypsum, a mineral often associated with water before the water evaporated. These gypsum deposits are a silent testament to Mars's wetter past, providing clear evidence that liquid water once existed on the planet's surface. But what happened to that water? And what does the existence of these white rocks tell us about Mars' climatic history? Scientists believe these rocks could be the key to understanding the planet's transition from a potentially habitable environment to the cold, dry world we see today. The discovery of these white rocks is more than just a geological find. It's a key piece of the puzzle in Mars' complex history. They are like Mars' silent witnesses, holding clues about a planet that once had the potential for life, now frozen in time, waiting for us to uncover its secrets. Number 9. Mystery circular sand dunes. Mars never stops amazing us with its strange landscapes, and one of the most puzzling finds is the circular sand dunes. NASA's Curiosity rover, exploring the red planet, came across these dunes, which are different from anything we see on Earth. While sand dunes are common on both planets, they usually form in linear or star shapes, depending on the wind and sand. But these circular dunes are something else. Mars has a very thin atmosphere made mostly of carbon dioxide, which means it has winds strong enough to shape the sand, even though it has just 1% of the air pressure we have on Earth. These winds move the sand grains around, creating various dune shapes. The circular dunes are particularly interesting because they don't fit the usual linear or star patterns. Why do these circular dunes form? Scientists think it might be due to unique wind patterns and special features of the Martian terrain. Every discovery, from circular dunes to old riverbeds, helps us understand this strange and fascinating planet better. Number 10. Rare mineral found on Mars. Mars is a planet with dramatic geological changes, and finding a rare mineral called tridymite has given us new insights into its volcanic history. Tridymite, a type of silica formed at high temperatures, was discovered in Gale Crater by NASA's Curiosity rover. This surprising find suggests that Mars had more complex volcanic activity than we thought. Tridymite forms in places with intense volcanic activity and high temperatures. On Earth, such conditions are linked to explosive volcanoes that create pumice and other silica-rich rocks. Finding tridymite on Mars hints that the planet might have had similar explosive volcanic events, which challenges earlier ideas that Martian volcanoes were mostly less explosive and basaltic. This discovery is important because it suggests Mars might have had more varied and intense volcanic activity, which could have played a big role in shaping its surface. The presence of tridymite also suggests that Mars might have had the right conditions for more complex geological processes, which could have affected its climate and atmosphere. Finding tridymite in Gale Crater is not just an interesting discovery. It helps us understand Mars's fiery past better. It makes us rethink what we know about volcanic activity on Mars and what it means for the planet's history. Number 11. Fossils discovered. NASA's Perseverance rover might have found something that could change our understanding of Mars forever, evidence suggesting that there might have been life on Mars. While exploring Neretva Vallis, an ancient riverbed, Perseverance discovered a unique arrow-shaped rock called Shavaya Falls. This rock is filled with sedimentary material and organic compounds, which could provide clues about Mars's history. The rock, with its veiny texture and leopard-like spots, is a treasure for scientists. The organic compounds inside it are important because they suggest that water once moved through this area. Water is crucial for life as we know it. These compounds might have been a food source for tiny microbes, hinting that life could have existed on Mars in the past. However, we need to be cautious. There's no clear proof yet that this rock is a fossil or directly linked to life. The patterns and shapes might be from natural geological processes, but the idea that this rock could be a fossil excites our imagination and fuels hopes that Mars once had life. Number 12. Ancient volcano. Mars, with its dusty plains and tall mountains, has just revealed another secret, a 280-mile-long volcanic structure that had been hiding in plain sight. It's a fissure-type volcano, which means it erupts from long cracks in the planet's surface rather than a central vent. Finding this huge volcano suggests that Mars has a more complex geological history than we thought. Fissure volcanoes are known for producing wide lava flows that cover large areas, changing the landscape dramatically. The size and length of this Martian volcano suggest it had a lot of volcanic activity, which likely affected the surrounding environment. The discovery of this ancient volcano adds another piece to the puzzle of Mars's geological history. It suggests that Mars was once much more geologically active, with volcanic eruptions that could have impacted its surface and atmosphere. This raises interesting questions about how these processes might have affected the planet's climate and its potential to support life. Number 13. UFO crash on Mars. Mars has long intrigued UFO enthusiasts, and recent images from NASA's Curiosity rover have added to the mystery. In April, Curiosity captured photos of strange, pointy protrusions on the surface of Gale Crater, anomalies that some scientists think might be remnants of an alien spacecraft. These odd shapes have led to theories suggesting they could be parts of a spacecraft, either from aliens or even from Earth, that crash-landed on Mars. However, not everyone agrees. While the shapes and patterns are unusual, there's no clear proof they are from an alien spacecraft. Mars's harsh environment, with its strong winds and dust storms, can create strange rock formations that might be mistaken for something else. but the possibility remains: could a piece of an alien spacecraft or even Earth's space debris have ended up on Mars? The mystery of the Coralv Crater protrusions is still unsolved. As researchers continue to study the images, the debate about what they truly are continues. Whether these formations are the result of natural processes or something more mysterious, they remind us that Mars is full of surprises, challenging our understanding of the cosmos. Number 14. Woman-shaped figure spotted. In 2015, NASA's Curiosity rover sent back a photo that got a lot of people excited. The image showed a shape on Mars that looked like a woman with long hair standing on a cliff. Some thought this was proof of life on Mars, but scientists had a simpler explanation. They said it was just a case of pareidolia, where our brains see patterns, like faces, in random shapes. People speculate wildly about the Martian woman, but experts quickly pointed out that the figure was probably just a rock shaped by natural forces. The dust, shadows, and the human tendency to see familiar shapes created this illusion. So, while it wasn't evidence of life on Mars, it shows how our imaginations can be sparked by the unknown. Number 15. Shiny object discovered. While exploring Mars, NASA's Curiosity rover found a small, shiny object on the surface. This metallic-looking piece caught a lot of attention. People wondered if it was from an old Mars mission, or maybe even a sign of alien technology. To find out more, scientists used Curiosity's special tools to look at the object closely. It turned out that the shiny object was a bit of plastic from the rover itself. Even though it wasn't something from aliens, this discovery shows how exploring Mars can be tricky. Sometimes, the rover's parts end up on the planet's surface. Every little find, like this piece of plastic, helps scientists learn more about Mars. Even small discoveries help us understand more about the red planet and keep us curious about what might be out there. Number 16. Mineral flower. Imagine finding a delicate flower-like shape on Mars, just a few millimeters across, glittering with crystal-like minerals. This stunning formation was spotted by NASA's Curiosity rover in February 2022 and is called the mineral flower because it looks like a flower from Earth. Despite its appearance, the mineral flower isn't a real plant. It's an inorganic structure created by natural geological processes. This formation happened because minerals from water crystallized over time. The mineral flower gives us a peek into Mars's wetter past and helps us understand the planet's history. Although these crystal formations are not living things, they show us that Mars once had water flowing freely across its surface. This discovery is a beautiful reminder of how nature can create amazing shapes, even on a distant planet like Mars. Number 17. Rat spotted. In 2013, a photo from NASA's Curiosity rover caused a stir on the internet. The image showed a small rock on Mars that looked like a rodent. This led to a lot of excitement and guesses. Could this be a sign of life on Mars? However, scientists quickly clarified that the rat was just a rock shaped by the forces of wind and temperature on Mars. This rat is a great example of how our brains like to find patterns, even in unexpected places. It's not a sign of life, but a natural rock formation that happens on Mars. Just like how erosion on Earth can create shapes that look like animals or other familiar objects, it shows us how nature can surprise us with its creativity. Number 18. A new study shows Mars is cold. Get ready for a surprising twist about Mars. For a long time, scientists thought Mars was a warm, wet planet with rivers and lakes. But a new study is shaking up this idea, suggesting Mars might have been much colder and icier than we previously believed. The new research comes from soil samples taken by NASA's Curiosity rover from Coralv Crater. These samples contain mysterious materials that don't have a crystal structure. Scientists compared these Martian soils to samples from very cold regions on Earth, and the results were surprising. The Martian soil's chemical makeup is similar to Earth's subarctic areas, indicating that it formed in cold conditions, not warm ones. This finding is important because it challenges the old belief that Mars was once a warm planet with liquid water. Number 19. Megadust storms on Mars. Mars isn't just a cold, rocky planet. It also has some of the most extreme and fascinating weather in our solar system. One of the most impressive features of Mars's weather is its megadust storms. Picture storms so huge they can cover the entire planet. These aren't just small, local storms, but massive events that affect the Martian atmosphere and climate. The dust on Mars is very fine and powdery, giving the planet its red color. This dust is rich in iron oxide and so light that the wind can easily lift it, creating giant dust storms. While there is always some dust in the Martian atmosphere, the biggest events are the global dust storms that happen from time to time. What makes these dust storms so interesting is their structure. Observations from Mars Express show that these storms are organized into regular patterns, like pebbles spread out on a surface. On Earth, clouds form when water vapor rises and turns into droplets. On Mars, the rising air carries dust instead of water. As the sun heats the dust-filled air, it rises and forms these dusty patterns, while areas with less dust sink. These huge dust storms can change the climate on Mars, affecting temperature and wind patterns all over the planet. They also create challenges for exploring Mars. Dust can lower the efficiency of solar-powered rovers, making it harder for us to explore the Martian surface and plan future missions. Understanding these dust storms is important not just for science, but also for our plans to colonize Mars. They show us that while Mars has great potential, it also has its own set of challenges. The weather on Mars is as dynamic and unpredictable as its surface, adding to the mysteries we're trying to solve. If you enjoyed uncovering these incredible Martian mysteries with us, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more mind-blowing space content. Drop a comment below with your thoughts on these discoveries. Do you think Mars could have been home to ancient civilizations? And for more updates straight from the cosmos, make sure to ring that notification bell. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time as we continue to explore the wonders of our universe.